If you're a new dad or an expecting mom for that matter, and you're trying to figure out what gear you need for your baby, I can actually answer that in the first 15 seconds of this video, and it's nothing. That's not a popular opinion, and the reality is, like, you don't need any of that shit. My name is Brad. I'm a father of 2. I talk about fatherhood kind of through an ancestral lens and talk about what it means as a modern parent. The modern world is always trying to sell us something, and that is especially true for parents. What I want to talk about in this video is to offer you an alternative to the lists of 20, 30, 40, 50 items that you got to get for your baby, and really bring that back to, you don't really need anything. Your baby wants your love, to be fed, to be held. Well, maybe some of them are nice, but a lot of them also remove and kind of disconnect you from parenting, because there are other things that I truly wish my wife and I asked for the first time around when our daughter was born. Stay with me and we'll walk through 3 things that you need to know when you're thinking about your baby gear and pending baby wish list. So first off, baby gear is more marketing than necessity. You don't really need any of this stuff. As a species, we go back like a million years. And obviously, parents got through literally 99% of that without any of this stuff. So it's not a necessity. A lot of times it's just something that makes life on the parent a little bit easier. But I want to encourage you to think about, what are the trade-offs when that happens? So let's use a few examples. And the easiest ones is the cradles and devices. One really popular one, very expensive, is called the snoo. But anything that rocks your baby or makes noises, does things to soothe your baby and imitate a parent. Truth is, one, you don't need that because you have that built into your body. You hold the baby, you talk to your baby, you comfort your baby. Kind of drives me nuts a little bit that we need devices that do that for us. Like, that's our job. That's what we're supposed to do. And when we hand off that responsibility to something else, it makes our life a little easier. Any choice we make in parenting are always trade-offs. Be honest with yourself about what the trade-offs are. And we become parents so that we could just hand off all these parenting responsibilities to a machine or to a device. We were designed to play that role. Our job is to hold your baby, and the reality is that babies want to be held all the time. All the time. When you hold your baby, you're not just holding your baby. You're not just calming them down or keeping them calm or soothing them. This is how we bond with them, is just to spend time with them, to put in the time, to put in the work. But I do think an ancestral perspective can help us understand kind of how far off the trail we have gotten, how much we've lost the plot on what actually matters in parenting. And so I think that can be a helpful tool to just help us reset our mindset. What do I actually need in this situation? And that can just help us to navigate some of these modern dilemmas where a lot of times if we don't do that, we end up in this paradigm of kind of passive parenting, and we're parenting by default instead of by design. A few of the essential baby items for us, and I'm not going to go into like clothes and diapers because obviously everybody's going to need some kind of solution for those. And so the first thing on my list is a baby wrap or some kind of baby wearing solution. This to me is kind of the perfect compromise of ancestral and modern. A baby wrap allows you to meet that ancestral need and that biological need that your baby has of always wanting to be held, with the modern constraints of the fact that you are a parent and you just probably have stuff that you got to do. And sometimes you need 1 or 2 hands free to get shit done. Baby wrap or a baby wearing solution allows your baby to still be up close to you, to feel that security. All of that satisfies that biological wiring they have of wanting that sense of closeness. It's really easy for them to nap and fall asleep when you're wearing them. A lot of times that is actually like an instant way to get them to fall asleep. You just wear your baby and walk around the house and do whatever you need to do. A lot of times they will just fall asleep on their own that way really quickly. But if they're not sleeping, you can walk around and they will just be with you. They'll be chilling out. They'll be watching what you're doing, observing what you're doing, taking in the world around them. Honestly, that's what babies really want. They just want to be next to you. The next thing I'm going to mention is a baby monitor. That is really in the modern world a necessity, because once you put your baby to sleep, you are likely gonna be moving around your house or apartment doing other stuff. For us, we always put our babies to sleep in our bed. It's a bed that is really low to the ground, but we still don't want them to roll off of it. The amount your baby moves in their sleep is like absolutely crazy. They will literally change positions 1,000 times. Even if you keep your baby in a crib, you may want to be able to listen out for them, to be able to see how they're doing. And as they get bigger, they do start trying to climb out of the crib. And that is something that you have to be able to watch out for. Now, for anybody that is gonna go and shop for a monitor, I am gonna link the monitor we used in the description for this video. The vast majority of monitors that are out there to buy rely on a Wi-Fi connection. We did not want there to be any possibility that the device could get hacked and be used or looked at by anyone outside of our home. That might sound insane, but the truth is that it happens. It has happened. While I'm not trying to fearmonger people, I think, again, just understanding there are trade-offs when we choose to use these devices, and the more high-tech you get, the more trade-offs you introduce. The third thing is a noise machine. A noise machine is absolutely critical. It's like we live in the Northeast. Houses here are usually 50, 100, 150 years old. They're all made of wood and they creak and they just make a lot of noises. Even in the cold weather months, the heat comes on and that makes noise when the baseboards start heating up and creaking and cracking. And when you have a young baby, the smallest noises will sometimes wake them up. Anybody who's a new parent is really going to be trying to take advantage of every spare moment they have when their baby is taking a nap or maybe going down a little bit early in the evening. But having a noise machine allows you to cancel out some of those noises. If you've got other kids, like they're not going to always be quiet, and it just sucks as a parent to have to be running around shushing them all the time. And so we love having a noise machine. Really helped our babies to sleep through just some of the ambient noise that happens around any house. Instead of asking for baby gear, I do think that there are other things that a new family, a family that's having a baby, can ask for from their family, from their friends, from their community. Number one is a night doula. If you don't know what this is, a night doula is an absolute game changer. A night doula is somebody that is gonna come to your house and they're gonna hold your baby while you go up to your bedroom and go to sleep. If you're a breastfeeding mother, they'll bring your baby up to you for a feeding, but then they'll take them back out of the room, help them to sleep through the night, and help you to sleep through the night. Now, this is something that some people, if you're like super rich, some people will actually do this literally for weeks or even a month. And that for me is actually kind of like the sleep device. Like you're just outsourcing your parenting and you're outsourcing the hard part to somebody else. I don't really agree with that approach, but when you are especially a first-time parent and you are in the thick of your first month of having a baby, the sleep deprivation is very real, and anything you can do to just get yourself a night here or a night there can make a huge difference in just breaking the cycle of not getting any sleep. You literally feel like a new person after a good night's sleep when you haven't been getting any. Even if it's just 1 or 2 times, that will stop you from getting 3-4 weeks into your parenthood journey and just being a shell, just being a wreck, because you've had these little punctuation points where you got some more sleep. You had these moments that interrupted that sleep deprivation where you could sleep deeply and know your kid was okay. Number 2 are frozen ready-made meals. One of the things that I didn't expect when we became parents, but became abundantly clear, probably 3 or 4 days into having our first daughter, is that it is just so hard to do these normal executive function type tasks that used to feel fairly routine before you had kids. All of a sudden, when I was sleep deprived, it was like I couldn't even think and get through those basic tasks. When we had some frozen ready-made meals that we didn't have to plan for dinner, we would just go into the freezer and pull a couple out if you're on a budget or if you don't have a lot of people that can support you, I mean, this can literally be frozen meals from the grocery store. But I also encourage, if you've got a support network that is willing to chip in and help you as part of your journey as new parents, this is a great area where you can invest in your health and your sanity because you don't have to plan for it. And there are a lot of really good, really nourishing, healthy options. This is especially the case for the mother. She's just given birth. She is probably nutritionally depleted. If she's breastfeeding, she's literally pouring calories out of her body into the baby. Having nourishing meals to backfill some of those calories to help both of you have the sustenance that you need to do the work that you're trying to do. This is such a game changer. I've tried a couple different options here that I will leave a link to if you're interested. Having some of these available so that I didn't have to worry about that planning aspect, that logistics aspect that became so much harder when I became a dad. Number 3 is a newborn photo session. When you are a parent of a really young child, the time feels like it is lasting forever, but the truth is it is not, and it goes by really quickly, and before you realize it, all these like amazing little parts of your baby that were so special that you were cherishing, like they're all just like gone. And that's always a hard thing about parenting. Watch my video about emotional resilience if you are interested in maybe just a conversation about the passage of time and your perspective on that as a parent. But as it pertains to a photo shoot, it captures your family in this moment in time that goes by so fast. Professional photos are just so much different than the pictures your family is going to take with an iPhone, and that you're going to take some selfies with you and your baby. They can sometimes capture all these little nuances of a newborn baby that are absolutely amazing. And it's a time in your life that is just kind of a time warp. Living moment to moment, hour to hour, sometimes minute to minute. Your sanity is often on the brink and you're kind of just surviving all the time. And it's just awesome to be able to look back and have this memento of that time, because during that time I wasn't always able to appreciate it. It just wasn't possible because I was really focused on my responsibilities and doing what I needed to do as a father. So those are my thoughts on baby gear. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me in the comments. Gonna wrap right now because the light is starting to wrap around here and it's gonna start washing me out and probably make this video impossible to watch. Just remember to be intentional about what you need versus what just sounds like it might be nice to have. It's easy to get caught up in this kind of materialism trap. Remember that your baby needs your love. They need your attention. And if you reframe it that way, then you'll be able to start saying no to a lot of that stuff and saying yes to the stuff that really matters, which are the experiences that you're gonna have and the attention that you need to give them. Asking for practical help or meaningful gifts is a much better way to ask for support from your family and friends that are willing to help you out. I'm interested how many people agree or disagree with the perspective that I've shared today. Do appreciate you watching and hope to see you in the next video. Here's to maybe a simpler entry point into parenthood for many of you.